Hey y'all, this is just Nurse Court. Welcome to the 1st of July garden tour. So, I thought I better do a garden tour this evening because we do have chances of rain throughout the week, and I thought I better get it done while the weather is nice and it's actually a beautiful evening out. I think the temperature is just 78 degrees right now, which is so unusual for end of June. We've had an unusually cool spring and summer. I mean, we've had some hot days. We had a patch of hot weather like a week or two ago, but then we had rainstorms come in, and here we are cool again, or cooler, I should say, for June, and it's almost July actually. Actually, today is okay. So disclosure, I'm filming this on the last day of June, which is nearly the first day of July. There's not going to be a lot of difference between today and tomorrow. But I did want to put that little notification out there. So technically, this is the end of June, but we're going to call it the 1st of July because there's only, technically a minute difference between June and July, if you want to get technical. So just a little update on my peppers. They are growing really good. So I need to order some more trellising from Amazon. So I ended up purchasing these little trellis things right here from Amazon. I had them already. So actually, I didn't purchase them this year, but I had them already. And they are working great to hold my peppers in place. So these are the Hungarian hot wax, and we've got some growth. So all I have is just the Hungarian hot wax on trellises. The others are doing okay right now, but I just figured whenever these start putting on peppers that they're going to start getting heavier, and I was afraid that it would bend these stalks down. So I decided to get those little trellises that I had in the garage, and it was a little 6-pack for like $10 on Amazon. So I need to order basically 4 more of them for each tier. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But I haven't done that yet. I need to go on and get them ordered up. But they are looking great. We're getting blooms on. So these are the serranos. So we have, this one is blooming. Let's see, this one's not blooming yet. So this is the one that is not going to survive, I don't think. It's the one that got bent off in the storm. So I'm just leaving it because I've got 5 other serrano plants. That'll be enough peppers and more for me. But my jalapenos, we've got some blooms here on the jalapeno plants. Just like all of a sudden, these little guys just went whoop, just crazy on me. And we started getting blooms. But like I said, I don't think I have any official peppers forming yet on any of these that I have seen. But I definitely have got blooms. So I'm excited about that. So these are the jalapenos. And then down here, this one here is a Jimmy Nardella, which is a sweet pepper, and it's got some blooms on it. It's really gotten tall. This one here, that's why I need to get the trellising, because it was leaning all over. So I need to get that trellising in there to kind of help give it some support. But some of these are really doing well. And then my Sugar Rush peach peppers are down here, and some of them there, we got some blooms there on the Sugar Rush peach peppers right in there. So peppers are looking great so far. So we'll see. I did end up harvesting my basil because it was getting super tall, and I just went around and harvested. And it gets warmer, I was afraid it was gonna go and flower out, and so I just went ahead and topped it off, and then it will grow back. At least it has in the past. So I'm anticipating that we'll have some new growth, and it'll put on some more basil for me. And then I also went ahead and took my cilantro, most of it, because it was getting hot, and I knew I didn't take this little bunch here because it wasn't very big. So there, I may get a little bit more, but I went ahead and have the little bit of cilantro and the basil. It's in my dehydrator right now, dehydrating, and it's probably getting close to being ready for harvest. So That's the only two that I harvested. The thyme's still looking good. I just about did some oregano, but I decided to wait. Um, some of this oregano has really taken off, but so I might end up drying some of it soon. And then the lemon balm, some of this is really taking off, and so I'm really curious, especially this one here. It's really gotten tall. Um, really curious to grow some of that and get some lemon balm for teas. And then let's see, this one here is a spearmint down here, and this is a holy basil. It's been kind of slow, and then that's a holy basil, and then this is spearmint in here, spearmint and spearmint, and then down here is rosemary. I don't think I got any rosemary there, but I have some in that pocket and that pocket and that one and that one. So it's just the one pocket, and I don't know if I just failed to get seeds in there or if they just didn't germinate. I was kind of running out of seeds at the very end, and I may have just thought that I got seeds in there and didn't. So but some of these herbs, the seeds for the herbs are super super tiny, and so it's hard to always get them planted just great. My green beans, I have harvested a few off of my green stalk. We've got a few more that are coming along. So with them, I am just kind of harvesting them as they get ready, and then I'm snapping them and putting them in the freezer. And then my plan is hopefully when I get another batch, I will. This one here is really probably ready to go in, but I will probably wait. I'll see. I'll give it another day or two. Um, and that one there's getting kind of long. So I have a handful on here that I could actually pick. I've got some blooms down there on the bottom row, it looks like. And there's some blooms right up here. So we're going to be blooming again, and we're going to be getting a few more. And here's some baby beans right in there that's going. So I know that the beans are not done. We've got some blooms there. So overall, they're doing pretty well. My marigolds are doing well up here. And these are the ones that I started from seed, and I didn't know if they were going to do anything, and they're just looking beautiful. So I'm happy about that. They have just really thrived on this rain that we have had here lately. Seems like we had that little bit of heat, and then we've had some rain, just pretty consistent rain this year, which is wonderful. I am thrilled. Last year I was in the throes of watering all the time, so I am not complaining. I'm taking it this year. And then my flowers are looking pretty good up here. I have my petunias there, and then my begonias, and everything is looking pretty good. I think they enjoyed. We had over an inch yesterday, actually, in watering, and my roses looks like they're putting on some more flowers again. So they're happy. We've got a second flush of. I'll stand kind of give them some shadowing, but they're looking pretty good. These roses, I didn't know if they were going to survive, but I probably this fall need to cut them back, because this one here I didn't think was going to survive at all, but some of it has, because as you can see, it's blooming again. And I'm not a fan of pampas grass, but the last two houses that I've lived at had pampas grass, and I need to trim this stuff down. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know. I think because it just grows so big and tall, and I just don't like how big it is. It's fine. I have some out by my shed over there on either side of the door. It's fine over there. That doesn't bother me. But I don't really like it up on my deck at all. And then I have some around. We don't want to look. This is a weed patch. This is the side of my house, and it needs some love. So, yeah. But I have some pampas grass growing up there along the side of my house too. My landscaping needs some help. I will straight up admit it. I am not the best at doing the whole landscaping stuff, and then I get overwhelmed with it, and I'm not even sure where to go with it. And the last two houses that I have had, everyone just loves rock, and I hate rock because you can't do anything with it. Like, you can't get in there and mow because of the rock, and then you can't, I mean, you have to dig some of this stuff out. And so I don't know what to do with this area in here. They have some, last year I just got in here and sprayed it all out. At least a lot of the big stuff, but there's some of it's got some grass and stuff like that, but there's just lots of weeds, and I need to work on this a lot. But, and then I just have some wood there for a fire pit that I threw over there. So yeah, we don't want to see this side of my yard. That's the jungle. Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that. Now you all saw the real dirty side of my yard. Oh, and I was just out here in my garden because I had my hose out here. I think my mower guy is going to be coming in the next day or two, so I was doing him a favor and actually getting my hose out of the way. I tried to do that last week. I didn't catch it because he came and I was not prepared for him to come. So the squash have been doing good. I actually have picked a bunch of squash. The yellow squash is what's really doing well. Oh, yep. I have got, oh my word, it just like took off. That one's ready to go. I was going to watch it, and then literally it is ready to go. And that one right down there is getting really close. These over here are doing okay. So, well, I don't have my scissors or harvesting shears, so we're just going to twist it off. So there we go, guys. I think that's my biggest one to date. Not that I intended it to get that big, but this one is going in. So we're going to set this up here, and let's see if I forget. But I picked a couple patty pan squash last week. I cooked up one of them with one of my tomatoes. Delicious. It was so delicious. But I thought I had, so the patty pan really, they sprawl out. And so I've got one up there, but as you can see, they kind of vine more. And so I'm having to watch these little guys. I've got one right down in here. I don't think it is going to survive. Nope. It is soft. So we're just going to go ahead and take that one in. Not all of them are getting pollinated, which is okay, but I was hoping to get a yellow one, but I haven't got any yellow ones yet. There's another one. I think that one has gotten pollinated because it's getting bigger. There's some down in there. Yeah. So these yellow ones are supposed to be patty pan squash, and they are like growing out strange. So I don't know what kind of squash that is. It was supposed to be a scallop or patty pan, so I don't know. I've had some squash bugs. I actually had squash bugs that had hatched, so I had been keeping an eye on all the leaves and doing a really good job of keeping them off the leaves. Well, then I realized that I had some eggs on the stems, and I hadn't been checking the stems up and down real good, and so I missed some. So I got some of the bugs, but some I did not. My zucchini plant I thought it was dying. It had a bunch of yellowing leaves, so I just cut them off, and now I don't know if we're going to get any zucchini or not. There is a little zucchini on it, to be determined if we're going to get any zucchini this year. Thought there was a zucchini down in here. Yep. And I don't know if he got pollinated or not. I think some of the times I say germinated, I really mean pollinated when it comes to the flowers. So anyway, but yeah, the patty pan definitely, they like to trellis. So I have learned that for sure. The zucchini and the yellow squash, they grow up, but these patty pans are sprawling more like a pumpkin would. So there's that. My green beans, I have picked a whole flush of green beans, and I probably need to come out in the next couple days, probably, and pick some more. I was gonna see how we were doing on them. Yeah, some of them are getting big enough. Yeah, so I probably need to come out here. Yeah, some of these are getting big enough to pick again. I got, yeah, some right down in there. So yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna make it this evening because it's too late in the evening already. But maybe tomorrow evening I can get home a little earlier and get out here and start picking if it doesn't rain. So that's the plan. In the next day or two, I got to pick beans. Potatoes are starting to die back, as you can tell. So these will probably be, I think I was looking at when I had planted them, and they were planted towards, I just pulled up a weed. So, but these guys were planted April the 9th, I think it was. And so around the 90-day mark would be mid-July, anywhere from like the 9th through the 18th, I think, that week. So I'm going to try to pick them on Saturday the 12th. That's on my calendar to pick them that day. So definitely the red ones were dying back before the white ones. And so I think they'll be probably ready in the next couple weeks for picking. My cucumber. I would say, I don't know how big this is going to get, but it's like a pickling kind of cucumber, and I think that's probably getting really close to being pickable. We have another one down there that looks like probably got pollinated. Some of these I don't think probably did, but they might because they looked a little brown. But they might have. I guess I'm just going to let this guy trellis up the fence here now that he is. Well, maybe I'll break it and bring it back. Its little tendrils were, I was trying to keep it over here more. So we'll just have him attach in up here. So yeah, they are producing cucumbers. I at least have got one cucumber, and I don't know how, I can't remember which variety I planted and how big they're going to get, but that might be about it. They may get a little bit bigger, but they're more, I think, of a pickling style, I believe. Celery is doing its thing, I guess. I don't know. I've heard celery can be hard to grow, so I don't know. We'll see about the celery. My kohlrabi is starting to head up right down here. See that? So it's actually forming a little head. This one is starting to. I haven't seen much yet on the purple. Something's definitely getting the leaves. Probably a worm. So, oh, yep, here he is too. There's actually two of them. One right there and one right there. So we gotta go get the gloves, and there's another little one right there. Yeah, so the worms are here, you guys. The worms are here, and we're gonna pick these worms off of them because they will just eat my plants alive. I knew that they were going to be coming, and I really would like to, especially I'm going to try to get this one to survive. So I'm going to have to spray with BT. Yep, here's another worm. So the worms are definitely all over this plant for sure. Okay, well, I'm going to pick them off. I'm going to go up and get my gloves and pick these worms off, and then I'm going to have to spray with BT. That may be the next thing that I have to do. Just going to look back here. So these are my Brussels. I'm not going to worry about my Brussels sprouts because, oh yeah, there was a worm right there. I'm just going to let them eat the Brussels if they want to eat the Brussels, because I don't think the Brussels are going to make, and yeah. So, but I will try to pick the worm off. There he is. The joys of organic gardening. Not so much. Like, they were not here, and then all of a sudden, boom, the worms were here. And then my cantaloupes here are definitely taken off and sprawling out everywhere. I want to try not to step on them, so I'm trying to keep them up close to the edge. There was a little cantaloupe. Let's see. We had seen one. There's one there, if it makes. There was a bigger one that my dad had seen, and now I'm not sure where it is. So I'm not sure. Maybe that was it right there. That may have been it, the bigger. But that would be the start of a baby melon if it turns into it. So I would like to at least get one. That would be fun. The cabbage, I think they're gonna be, probably the caterpillars are gonna get to them. So I'm gonna have to get out here. This one still looks fairly okay. So I'm gonna probably have to get out here and spray that one. And then this little guy, I need to get him to where he's back up against the wire there. My tomatoes are just going crazy. So these are all the Amish paste, and these Amish paste get so big. But look, there's a little cluster of 3 Amish paste tomatoes down there. We've got one right in there, just going crazy. These are my yellow, the sun rays. Got them. We got some broccoli. Oh yeah, the bugs have gotten to this one, and I don't know. I'm real tempted, honestly, to just pull this stuff out and not even worry about spraying, because it's June. It's the end of June, 1st of July. Literally, today's the 30th, and I know that these are not gonna do anything in this heat, and so I'm not sure whether I should just leave them there and let the worms eat them, and maybe the worms will stay there and stay off my tomatoes, or what I should do. I was really hoping that I could get a kohlrabi to grow, but I'm not sure that that's going to happen. But yeah, so my tomatoes really are looking good overall. This plant right here is Aroma, and look at all the fruit on it everywhere. Some bigger ones down there, and then look at all these blooms right up there. Yay. This is a sun gold over here that I started from seed, and it's got a bunch of little tomatoes there and right there. Got some going to be developing on this one. Same over here with this one is another sun gold kind of right here. And we already talked about my sunray, and then these are all the Amish paste. Then I have my big red slicers back here. This is the Beef Master. We've got one right down in there. Those are Beef Master. And then Supersonic, we've got like a cluster of 3 and then a cluster of 5. Oh, that one is really nice size down in there. It's got a leaf kind of growing up in between them. A cluster of 4, I guess. And then that's got a cluster of like 4, and that is the Supersonic. And these are the Super Fantastic, and these are the Supersonic. So yeah, so I just got a tomato jungle down here, which I knew this would happen if they all took hold, and then I would have tomatoes running out my ears, and that's probably what will happen, because all of these Romas have got blooms. They are starting to set fruit, and then they will start to ripen. Some of them definitely have more fruit than others, but all of them have got fruit. And then this was another Roma, and it's just got blooms all over it that I had purchased. And then that one over there is a Roma I had purchased. There was some here in the middle, the ones that I started from seed. And then this was a Ace 55, which is not a Roma style tomato. It's like a semi-determinate. And this one, and this one on the end. If you guys remember, I'll kind of show you. They're definitely smaller than my Romas, but they were the ones that I didn't think were going to survive, and they were like super tiny. And then here we are. They are just doing well, and this one here has got some blooms on them, so we'll have tomatoes from them. And this one here does too. I see it right in there, got some blooms. So these tomatoes are definitely planted way too close. I know that. I honestly, I just didn't think they were going to survive. And then so I have like some in the middle because I was trying to cage up some of them, and then yeah, anyway, so I know this is all way too close together. I get it, it's not ideal, but then I hated to like pull them out because they were doing okay. So maybe they would do better, if they were spread out a little bit. But some of them are Romas, and they don't get super big anyway. So we're letting them go. This is the mystery tomato, and I'm still not sure what it is, but we've got some fruit on it. So I guess we'll see if it's a red or a yellow, and then maybe it'll tell me. It may be a sunray. It's possible that it might be a yellow tomato. It's definitely not a cherry because they're bigger than a cherry. This was the golden nugget, which is a style of cherry, and it's got a bunch of little tomatoes all over it, and so it's a determinate style cherry, so they like all come on at one time. This is a sunray, so we've got, that's why I'm like, that could be a sunray, could be. This is an Amish paste, and we have one little Amish paste tomato back there. Then this is my Dr. Witchies, and I don't think I have any tomatoes on it. Oh, yep, we're getting some right there. So say I know I've had some blooms, but I don't have any tomatoes yet, but there's some blooms right in there. So soon maybe. And then this is my okra, my original okra that I planted, and then the extra one that I planted after the fact. The two that are in the squash bed, I don't think are going to survive because I think the squash are kind of taken over. But there is, well, I don't know. Actually, it might survive because there it is right down there. Kind of right in there. That's it right there. And then the one on this end is right in here. I always forget to show this when I'm showing my squash. That's the other okra right there. So we'll see if they end up surviving amongst the squash. But this is what my garden looks like the 1st of June. 1st of July, end of June. This is what we got. My flowers are doing good. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to go and pick off the worms. And I sprayed with BT, but then it rained, and so I'm gonna have to go back. If I want to bother, well, I don't want the worms on the tomatoes either, so I'm just gonna have to mix up my BT this week and spray. But I'm gonna try to go pick off those worms and at least get rid of them, the ones that I see for sure, because they are doing damage to those kohlrabi, and there was a whole bunch on the kohlrabi. So anyway, but the garden is doing pretty well except for those brassicas, the broccolis and cauliflowers and cabbage and stuff like that, which I knew that they probably wouldn't do well this time of year. They need to go out way earlier, and it is sunset time. The sun has gone down. It's kind of a pretty view. Got the clouds up there. Yeah, that's pretty. I'm going to take a picture of it. Very pretty. So there you guys go. There's an update on the whole garden. Okay, guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening or morning or day, whatever time you're watching this. And I will see you soon in the next one, friends. Bye.